Welcome everyone to today's live stream, episode 3 of our Baldur's Gate 3 Barbarian gameplay series. I'm Commander Jorval and I want to thank you for coming along on our journey today. So just some administrative notes before we start. Many of you have seen the episode 2 live stream go up just a couple of days ago. That's because when I started the episode 2 live stream last week, I thought I had corrected some sound issues. Turns out that I hadn't, and the sound was absolutely horrible. I want to apologize to everyone who put up with it during the stream itself. Again, it's one of those things that I wish was easier to check before you go live. But at the end of the day, there's no excuse for it, and it's my fault. So what I did was on Thursday, I replayed the episode 2 live stream again and did it in an unannounced stream that evening and uploaded it as a replacement. The exact same things happened, the exact same content was done. The only difference was that I didn't have the horrifically bad rolls in certain situations, but for the most part, everything else was the same. All of the same items, with the exception of RNG from picking up items from chests and things like that were had, but there were no significant advantages and or disadvantages from the second playthrough from the first. So we'll be picking up from there. And speaking of that, in the recap section here, when we last left off, we had gone through and explored the chapel and the overgrown ruins. We had gone through all of the fights there with the bandits that were inhabiting the ruins, and we had found and recruited withers to join us at our camp to provide resurrection services for a fee of gold. To end the live stream, we went to camp. We went through all of the conversations with our various party members that we currently have recruited, and then we got ready to adventure on to the Grove of Silvanus. That's where we're going to start off today, and hopefully pick up our last party member that we want to have semi-permanently join us throughout this adventure. So with that being said, we'll just go ahead and jump right in here and continue on where we left off last week. Okay, so here we are. So you remember that we had finished off by finding the waypoint here next to Silvanus's Grove. And what we're going to do now is enter into this area, which is going to trigger a cutscene and a fight. That fight is hopefully where we're going to get to see a little more of the power of the Barbarian. I know you guys have all liked that. So we're going to move up here and get ourselves into some positions where we can start this fight. So once we're up here, I'm just going to toggle group mode. I'm going to take over Astarion.
Silent as the grave.
And I'm going to move Astarion up here to the top. This is going to start the cutscene. It's going to start the fight, and because Astarion has the highest dexterity, I'm hoping that he will roll high enough to be early on in the combat. Now you're going to get an autosave here. You do want to make sure that you save before you start this encounter. There is a chance, as I mentioned in my Ranger playthrough, that will join this fight outside and become bugged, where he will not enter back into the grove. And if he doesn't, then you do not have a chance to recruit him. So you absolutely do want to save. In this case, we have an autosave here. And we have a save from last week right before this starts. So just make sure that you save. And if Wyll bugs out and you can't do it, then you're going to have to just restart the fight again. So we will go ahead and move up here and trigger this cutscene.
Open the bloody gate!
Nobody gets in! Zevlor's orders!
That pack of goblins will be on us any second!
What's going on?
Goblins are on our tail! Open the gate, Zevlor, now!
You let goblins here? Where is the druid?
Please! There's no time!
By the nine hells! Open the gate! Cannon! No!
Shit! Form a line!
Okay, so as hoped, Asturian rolled very well on initiative with his +3 bonus to dexterity. So this now allows us the opportunity to take the rest of our party members who are not in the fight and move them into a position where they can get into the fight. And to do that, I'm going to take
On my way.
our Barbarian around the back and try and execute a flank. Sometimes this works, sometimes it doesn't, simply because of the elevated positions that some of them are in. So, if it doesn't work, he'll enter combat and we'll just have to manage it from there. Yep. So, he gets seen from somewhere. I have no idea where. None of the detection cones are anywhere near him, but that does happen from time to time, so it's to be expected.
Let's step softly.
And sometimes you will get into a position here that will also trigger them to get into combat. But what I'm trying to do here is to get into a position where I can get Guiding Bolt off on one of these main characters down here. I think probably what I'll want to do is focus the Bugbear if I can. So that means she's going to have to go over there. Yeah, that's getting a little bit too close. Yeah, to execute this on any of them, she's going to have to get up real close to the Goblin tracker down. But let's see if we can do it.
Focus. Strike true.
Okay. Good, that got her into the fight, and now Gale. Gale, we definitely want to
Yes.
get in range for Cloud of Daggers. So that's going to get these three, which is good. Okay, we got one kill outright. The bugbear took a lot more damage, and so did the goblin boss. Oh, that's good. And now Astarian's going to get a chance here. He does not have advantage. He's got advantage here because of Guiding Bolt. So I'm going to bugbears here. So the goblin tracker up front, goblin tracker right below me, and the goblin tracker over there are going to get off shots, and then the bugbear. So the goblin trackers are going to do a lot less damage than the bugbear is, so let's see if we can get a ranged sneak attack off here and kill the bugbear. And we couldn't kill him. We have two bonus actions here. This would be taking a heck of a chance. I think what we do is, because we only need 2 more hit points, I think what we do is we dash. This is going to provoke an attack of opportunity, but maybe we can get to here and then jump down to here. Okay, good. Didn't take any damage.
This will do nicely.
Oh, and jump was our bonus action. That wasn't smart. Yeah, that was not smart. So, I wanted to save one of my bonus actions for an offhand attack to try and kill the bugbear, but I used jump, which took up my second bonus action. So, I wanted to kill the bugbear. Now the bugbear is going to get an attack against Astarian, but we'll see what happens. Okay, the Booyog put Gale to sleep, which means that ended.
There is no escaping the blade.
Which ended the Cloud of Daggers.
Scout! Get to the high ground! Charge the bastard! Ignis!
Okay, so the Booyog's dead. The Bugbear's now dead. So we took a hefty toll on him that turn. We really need to get rid of the Goblin boss here, so I'm going to execute both. It's only a 50% chance to hit. Let's go with just my main hand attack to start. That missed. Let's go with an offhand attack. And maybe a shove here, just to get him further away from me so then I can move back out of the way. Okay, now we'll see what can happen here. Oh. Why did he do that? Oh. Interesting. Okay, well, I've never seen a Radin do that before. He went over and helped Gale. I have never seen that before.
Don't get too close.
So let's move Gale up. And what do we have here? 10, 17. So the Goblin boss is the next one here. So let's just end this. We'll do 3 there. And 1 up here. Okay. So that ends his attack. So now it's just allies up until we get to the 2 trackers again. So I think that works out well.
Ready.
So now Shadowheart. What we can do is try and execute a shove here. Didn't work. So we need 5 hit points. That would be an above average roll there. Don't need to save these. 42% chance is all. 75% chance over here. So let's up this. Okay. Now, since he's on a lower level, if I move here, I should not provoke an attack of opportunity, but I think I'm just going to wait. Perfect. And my lowly barbarian, who's been kept out of the fight this entire time.
Light on my feet.
Okay.
Torment!
That should end that one. And now I think all we have left is this one here. Yes. So he's got a 57% chance there. Let's go ahead and bash. Okay, I still can't get close enough.
Don't linger.
Oh, great. Okay, a Radin isn't going to be able to do anything from there, so the Goblin Tracker is going to get off one more attack. Not a big deal.
That was the last of them. Inside! All of you! More may follow! Open the gate!
Okay, so Wyll is venturing in to the camp. That's what we wanted to see. So, after all of the vaunted talk about getting our barbarian into a big fight out here, he was completely out of the fight the entire time. Oh, gotta love it. So, he's almost full, so we'll have our other party members do most of the searching here.
Air is ripe with
So
magic.
I'm going to try and get
Launch your bird.
Astarian to do most of it.
This way. Certainly.
Now I'm going to have him pick that up. Don't need the stuff bear.
No time to rest.
Let's get everybody else down here in the meantime.
To go still.
Well, hello.
Okay, so the Gloves of Power are a very interesting object. We'll talk about them here in a second.
I'll just help myself.
Okay, I think that should be it. Just make sure. Yeah, I think they all had some other little item on them that keeps them from showing as empty. So, yeah. Okay,
Still alive, so that's progress. Moving ahead.
so just to quickly kind of explain where we are, what we can do also is go up here toward the hidden cache where we learned about from moving the rock. Okay, so we have some camp supplies over here.
Don't mind if I do.
And even that one camp supply is going to encumber us. Okay, so we'll just go and open up the map here. The dragon egg mushroom down there. Some more camp supplies here. Here. Okay, we'll send those both to camp here, and we will take the ladder up.
Trust no one. Moving.
Okay, so we'll switch to Starian here and do some quick searching. Be careful not to shoot the oil barrel when you're here.
Let's prowl. Moving.
Okay, we have a heavy chest up here. Now, that is not the hidden cache. Actually, if that was it, it's not very well hidden.
Necklace matches the sigil in that cave. The Harpies were busy.
Okay. So, when we picked up the silver pendant, you heard that it has a Harper sigil on it. The engraving of a moon and a harp. This is the hidden stash, and it gives you the silver pendant. Now, what the silver pendant does is allow you to use the guidance cantrip. Guidance is incredibly useful throughout the playthrough. You will use it for everything that you can possibly use it for when you're dealing with interactions with other characters and interactions with your environment. And what it does is gives you a 1d4 bonus to any ability checks. So if you're in a conversation, you need persuasion, you need intimidation, and all that sort of stuff, you can cast guidance, and you can get a 1d4 bonus to that interaction. So incredibly useful, and being able to cast it as a cantrip is great. Now, Shadowheart also has the guidance cantrip, just that she can cast all of the time. The thing is that she cannot cast guidance on somebody else in interactions with her. So if you're trying to persuade her to do something or get more information about something, she's not going to cast guidance on you to affect her. Also, there are some times when she might not be around you or close enough to you to be able to cast guidance on you. And if that's the case, then you won't have the benefit of that 1d4 to your ability checks. So having an amulet that you can wear to give you access to guidance all of the time is an incredibly valuable thing. So it's one of the most useful items that you're going to pick up in the early game, and it's something that you're going to use throughout the entire playthrough. There's just no other way to say it. So the question then comes in, who's going to wear it? For now, what you really want it to be is on the character that you're going to be interacting with people the most with. For now, I'm just going to put it on Astarion because he can, if he jumps over to certain locations where there's a locked chest, he can now use guidance on himself to help deal with that role, as opposed to having Shadowheart trying to stay with him, because there are places that the two of them might not be able to get to at the same time. So, nothing, no big deal about it. For now, I'm just going to leave it on Astarion. That might change over to my main character, but we'll just kind of play it by ear and see how it goes. Okay? So the next thing I'm going to do is go over here and I should have cast guidance on myself there, but I did pass the perception check. So now I can go to the rocky crevice here and click on it.
At the back of the crevice lies a bag covered with spiders. A shiny gold coin pokes from its mouth.
Okay, and see here, now I have access to guidance from Astarion as well as guidance from her. These don't stack. It's one or the other. Okay, going to be a pass. Again, the benefit of the guidance cantrip.
The creatures clutch the pouch possessively. You have no doubt a spider egg is nestled within.
Okay, so you can use now sleight of hand or animal handling. Sleight of hand is obviously going to give us the much bigger advantage here, so that's how we're going to go. The 15 DC. I have a total bonus here of 6 to 9. Didn't even need it.
The spiders scatter, and you stash the bag. Something clinks among the coins.
Okay. So, got an inspiration out of that. Always useful. And we picked up a pouch. If you double click on the pouch, you can see that we have some gold. And we have a spider egg sac. The spider egg sac is a very interesting item. It basically says something or some things wriggle within the sticky shell. It's an item that if you throw it, and wherever it lands, it's going to release spiders that are going to attack whoever's around it. So it can be a great way to distract enemies that you're dealing with. Large groups and that sort of stuff. You can just chuck it in the middle of them and watch the fun ensue. So, but it's a good item. I haven't used it in any of the playthroughs yet, but there are times when it will obviously be something you want to think about, especially when you get into stuff like the Githyanki Patrol and encounters like that. So, the other thing about it is, yeah, no, that's just it. There's another item that is a higher priced version that we will see later. Okay, so now we can come back down here. This path here is going to lead us on toward the Blighted Village, but we're not going to go that way yet. We're going to head right over here for now. Oop, forgot.
These tracks.
Okay.
Goblins?
So, we did find the back door here. We passed the perception check to find the back door to Silvanus' Grove. We're not going to go that way, though. We don't have any need to. So, we are going to now go through the front gate and enter into Silvanus' Grove. And
No rest for the wicked, I see.
I think... Okay, so yeah, Gale has the most charisma that I've ever...
Lovely day, this. For now. Onward.
And we want to make sure that we take care of two things here right off the bat. One, we definitely want to clear out our inventory. We do need to save after that fight, because we are just chock full of items. And we need to sell those off.
There are children here, you fool!
We was running for our lives.
You led them straight to us, and you let them take the druid too? Unbelievable!
Tell that to the dead at the gate.
Shut it, Horns! I'd be lying dead next to the goblins if you'd stalled any longer.
My duty is to this camp.
Oh, God forbid you risk your precious tail. But I shouldn't be surprised. Foul-bloods ain't known for courage.
You see the tiefling's jaw clench. He's about to erupt.
Okay, so we have some options here. I'm going to go... I'm not going to swing at anybody, or else I would have brought my dwarf in to deal with it. I'm going to try the persuasion option. And add guidance in, but it is a big roll. Wow, we're rolling very, very well today. And I probably just jinxed it.
You're right. There's too much at stake.
Worried about your precious hides, the both of you.
Enough! Squabbling is pointless. The goblins have found us.
At least we agree on that.
Okay, so now we need to talk to Zevlor here.
Time to pack. We need to leave.
A word.
Forgive that display. Aradin's a blowhard, but that's no cause for me to join him. Thank you for your help out there. I'm Zevlor. Well met. I should warn you, visitors are no longer welcome in this grove. Whatever your business, I'd see to it quickly. The druids are forcing everyone out. This attack will only strengthen their resolve. There have been several attacks by different monsters. The druids blame us outsiders for drawing them here. Nobody's welcome anymore. They've started a ritual to cut the grove off from the world outside. We can't stay, but we'll be slaughtered if we leave. We're no fighters. I've tried. Korga, their new first druid, won't even see me. You, though... I know it's not your business, but she owes you for saving this place. Perhaps you could persuade her. For more time to prepare, if nothing else.
Really? We're messengers now.
We'd owe you a great debt. If we're forced to leave now, we won't make it to the city. You'll find the druids at the heart of the grove. Please, make them see sense before more lives are lost.
Okay. So there are two things that we want to do as soon as we possibly can. The first is to recruit our final party member, and that's going to be Wyll. So in preparation for that, I'm going to move all of these scrolls off of Gale. I think I can leave the ranged crossbow there, as I think Wyll's proficient with shortbow, but we'll see. If not, we're going to have enough money to buy one. But that's one of the things that we want to do. And then once that's done, because Wyll has a high charisma, as a sorcerer, that's his bread and butter, is casting charisma-based spells. We're going to use him to sell our items. And then once we've done that, we're going to skip most of the stuff inside of here and head right down to the heart of the grove to pick up an item that we need to secure. So that's kind of the order, and then once we've done that, we'll start fleshing out the rest of the interactions here. But for now, we're just gonna skip most of them.
No, you just care about your stupid apprenticeship.
How many goblins have you fought?
Take that back. Right now.
As many as there are stars in the sky.
That's not true.
Children! Look who's here.
Go on. Give me your best shot. Not bad. Again.
We don't even know these people. That doesn't matter.
Hey, keep focus. See how I used your own force against you?
You would choose strangers over us. Waiting's getting to me. If we left, we could at least make a run for it.
Of course you can. It just takes time. I didn't become the Blade of Frontiers overnight.
Okay, so obviously a bug cinematic there, but it's early access.
Show me what you got.
Again. Swing and swing. Parry.
The man's smile bends downward, and his thoughts become yours. An unknown face commands your mind. Blue skin, gnarled horns.
I'll be damned to the hells. You were on the ship.
A strange sensation courses you, and Wyll's mind unfolds, secrets half revealed.
Okay, so this begins the introduction to using the tadpole to persuade people to do certain things. There are negative consequences to doing it. People are going to be upset sometimes that you're trying to do it, but it's a guaranteed pass. The Illithid Tadpole is not resistible, and it's a 0 DC check, so you're always going to pass it, even if you roll a natural 1. So, if you want to try peering further into his mind, you can, but again, like I say, there's going to be some disadvantages to doing that. I very rarely use it, but there are some instances where, like especially on enemy NPCs and things like that, where it's just very useful to use. So.
A deep. Sounds like that brain bug's really wormed its way in. We've both got parasites tickling our grey matter, and I've been having the strangest dreams. I haven't turned into a mind flayer just yet, but sooner or later, my luck will run out. Been thinking I need a healer. and I reckon you've been thinking the same. I've been waiting for this druid Halsin to return. They say he's pretty powerful. He could probably help us. Problem is, the goblins have nabbed him. We better go find him before we start growing talons and tentacles.
Of course it does. You would choose strange.
Excellent idea, but I have a condition.
That's not what I said.
Look at these kids. They've no chance on the road, not while goblins infest it. I've got the grandest of plans. You and me, we kill the goblin horde's leaders. That should scatter the buggers. Frontier justice, I call that. What say you? I love your spirit, but you're full up. But when the time comes, just holler. The blade of frontiers will come calling. A splendid plan. Let's chat there.
And that was a mistake on my part. I forgot to dismiss Gale from the party before that encounter. So now I'm going to have to rest to get Wyll into my party. That's not a problem though. Like I say, we were pretty liberal with the expenditure of spells from Gale and Shadowheart because we knew we were going to be resting anyway. There are a lot of camp supplies in this game, so I'm not too worried about it. So let's just go ahead and take a long rest. We'll recruit Wyll, and that will give us an opportunity to look at what his on how to equip him the best.
Be with you in a moment. Not a trick, my friend. Magic. Be that as it may. Ceramorphosis. What does it make you think of? Ah, yes. The good old days. Day 1, fever and memory loss. Day 2, hallucinations and graying skin. Day 3, hair loss and blood leaking from all orifices. Need to go on? Day 4, excruciating pain as the skeleton and organs reform and reposition. Day 5, the host personality has disappeared. Fingers and toes and limbs elongate. I take it you get the picture? Day 6, the flesh around the mouth splits to make way for tentacles. Day 7, a mind flayer is born. This is the annotated version, of course. The storyteller's gift. My point is this: our orifices remain blissfully unblooded, our heads remain clear, and our blood temperature normal. Any expert will agree this is abnormal. That, alas, is where my knowledge fails me. A rogue might call it luck, a priest might call it fate. As for myself, I'm a pragmatic. I see the silence before the storm. Something to sleep on. We should get some rest.
Okay, so we're going to talk to Gale here.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
And remove him from
question
the
the
party.
wisdom of that decision, but so be it. I'll be here in the meantime, idling away the hours.
And we will bring Wyll into the party.
Salutations. We sniff out the gobbo leaders and take their heads. And we free the druid housing while we're at it. If we want these brain bugs removed, he's our man. I know, that's a pretty big if. Living legend in the flesh. Slayer of specters, killer of kobolds. The pride of Baldur's Gate. So you know the stories. All true, I might add. Won't be long before they're telling new tales. Mind flayers, flying ships, dragon attacks. The legend grows. There's an old saying I just made up. To fell a dragon, you must chop off its head. These goblins are organized. It's no hamhead pulling the strings. We slither through their camp and off their leaders, quick as crickets.
That's pretty funny. The Berserker class gets an option here.
I like your way of thinking. The creatures are thick as planks. Keep smashing and they'll splinter. Risky though. My gut says keep it simple. A few goblins is one thing, a horde's quite another. Now, I always save the best stories for my closest friends and my cruelest enemies. Get to be one of those and I'll spill the whole jug. You get that, right? Spill the whole jug? I guess I'll toss that one in the heap. I'm all ears. I reckon I could mutter and mope about till the brain bug takes me. But the truth is, I feel fine. Better than fine. And I've no plans to stop fighting the good fight.
Okay.
Ah, that's the spirit.
Alright, so Wyll, we can now level up. Okay, so Warlock, I apologize, not Sorcerer. So, as a Warlock, he gains some spell slots, but he also gains 2 Eldritch Invocations. One of the things that you didn't get to see in his level 1 appearance is that he has Eldritch Blast as a cantrip that he can cast at any time. And that's the bread and butter for the Warlock, is being able to cast Eldritch Blast as a cantrip. So you don't have a lot of spell slots to cast spells, so Eldritch Blast is your go-to damage dealing spell because you can just cast as much as you want. So at level 2 you get 2 invocations, ways to modify that Eldritch Blast. The first is Agonizing Blast. What it does is adds your charisma modifier to the damage it deals. I've got a +3 charisma modifier, so that's basically saying we're going to give you 3 additional damage all of the time. There's no reason that you don't want to take Agonizing Blast. It just is what it is. So you don't really have 2 Eldritch Invocations to pick here. You've only got 1, because Agonizing Blast is just a guaranteed take. Now, for the rest of these, you get a few other things that can go along kind of with this. So first is Armor of Shadows. What that does is gives you the Armor of Shadows Abjuration spell that you can cast, and it stays with you until you long rest. So it's something that right after you long rest, you cast it as an action, and it just stays on. So it's like a guaranteed +3 to your armor class. And just goes along with it. It doesn't use a spell slot. It just is an action that you can cast. So very, very useful. Beast Speech, again, gives you speak with animals. We've seen how useful that is to have as a spell in your party somewhere. I think using one of the Warlock invocations to get this spell is kind of a waste. When there are other ways that you can be casting Speak with Animals. But it is an option here. but again, not using a spell slot. Beguiling Influence gives you it basically says that you have now proficiency in both deception and persuasion. So you're going to get a plus bonus anytime you attempt deception and persuasion here. So two very common things that you use in interactions, and we're going to be using Will quite a bit in our interactions with other people. But again, kind of something that with a high charisma modifier already, this is just adding, sauce to the goose, so to speak. So kind of something I'm not going to waste an invocation on. Devil's Sight gives you the passive feature of, I think this is actually improved dark vision, because you can see normally in darkness up to 24 meters. So whether that's also if somebody casts darkness or fog or something like that, you can still see through it with Devil's Sight. So very useful. Just in tabletop, it's a lot more useful probably than it is in this game. So Fiendish Vigor basically gives you the ability to cast False Life as a level 1 spell without using a spell slot. So it gives you 7 temporary hit points every long rest. Mask of Many Faces allows you to cast Disguise Self at will without expending a spell slot. I haven't found, again, I haven't experimented with it very much, but I haven't found a lot of times when using Disguise Self is going to be useful in the early access playthrough anyway. Having it available may be very useful in certain situations in the full version, but for now I'm not going to use an Eldritch Invocation for it. Repelling Blast is very, very interesting. When you hit a creature with Eldritch Blast, you can push the creature up to 4.5 meters away from you. So whenever you hit with Eldritch Blast, it's like executing a shove attack at the same time. And with the verticality in this game, there are a lot of opportunities to get kills that way. There are also some opportunities for you to lose out on a lot of loot that way, because you can shove enemies into areas where you're not going to be able to loot them and things like that. So it's a two-headed sword and a two-headed battle axe here that cuts both ways, but at the end of the day, it's a very interesting one to think about using. Thief of the Five Fates is basically allowing you to cast Bane as one of your spells. So it does, however, cost a spell slot, whereas the other things like Armor of Shadows and that sort of stuff do not take a spell slot, and I would prefer not to have my spell slots be used for something like Bane. So I think the two that I think the most about going through here are Armor of Shadows and Repelling Blast. I think both of them are very, very useful throughout the playthrough. I think what I'm going to do, though, is utilize Will as kind of a fighter magic user type of warlock. So in doing that, I'm going to want to be able to get his armor class up higher, because he doesn't have a lot of proficiencies when it comes to armor. So he has a +1 modifier to dexterity. So when he's utilizing armors, he can use his dexterity to add that +1 onto it. But at the end of the day, he doesn't have a very high armor class. So if I'm going to use him like that, then I really need to be able to cast Armor of Shadows whenever I need to. So again, casting it right after he comes out of a long rest and have it always be on. It's not a concentration spell. Yeah, it's not a concentration spell. So it's something you can just cast on you, and then if it gets removed or something like that, you can just use an action to cast it again. The other is Repelling Blast. And like I say, with the verticality in the game, it's very useful in quite a few fights to be able to knock somebody off of a ledge from 60 feet away, 18 meters away, which is the range of Elder's Blast. So it's very, very useful in a lot of situations. I'm just going to be, I think, utilizing Wyll in kind of the fighter mage type of role. So I'm going to take Armor of Shadows instead. Now, one of the most important things that also comes along with the Warlock at level 2 is the Hex spell. If you watched the Ranger gameplay series, then you saw that we had Mark of the Hunter. Hex is very, very similar to Mark of the Hunter, or Hunter's Mark. Hex will curse a creature, and it will take an additional 1d6 necrotic damage whenever you hit it with an attack. So very similar to what Hunter's Mark does. However, you can also hex one ability check. So you can pick one of the 6 abilities for that enemy creature to hex, and they will have disadvantage on any ability checks that go along with it. So, for instance, if I want to hex somebody's strength that I'm there with, and then I hex their strength and I run up to them and I want to shove them, they're going to have disadvantage on the strength check to resist that shove. Okay, which means even though I've got a low strength, I've got a -1 modifier to my strength right now, they would have disadvantage. So they would be rolling and take the lower of the 2 rolls to check against my strength. So I just use strength as an example. You can do it for anything. You can do it for wisdom checks and charisma checks and constitution checks. Things that are going to be very useful to have somebody get disadvantage for, so that then maybe you can cast it on a wisdom hex, and then you try and cast sleep on them and they can't resist sleep nearly as well, that sort of stuff. So the other thing about hex is that if the target dies before the spell ends, then just like Hunter's Mark, you can use a bonus action to transfer that hex to a new creature. So very, very useful in a lot of situations. It's just a default thing that you want to have with you. You can pick a few of the other wizard spells that are available, but Hex just is flat out the way you want to go with choosing a spell here. So here we have 2 known spells. We have the Armor of Agathis, which gets you temporary hit points, and you deal cold damage to any creature that hits you with a melee attack, and you do a flat 5 cold damage. So that's another one of those spells that you cast right after you come out of a long rest, in addition to mage armor, and that gets you an armor class bonus and a hit point bonus and the ability to damage anybody that hits you. So since I'm going to be using him as that type of fighter mage type of person, I'm definitely going to leave Armor of Agathis there and just use up one of my level 1 Warlock spell slots to cast it. And then the other Warlock spell slot is going to be utilized for Hex. So whatever I put in here is probably not going to be utilized that much, but I'm not going to use Arms of Hadar. I don't think. But let's go look and see what else we have here. So, Witch Bolt's a concentration spell. So I don't have any other concentration spells well, Hex is a concentration spell. So you don't want to be having to concentrate on a Witch Bolt and then not be able to use Hex. So any other spell that you choose, you want it to be a non-concentration spell to utilize. So you've got some questions here. So Arms of Hadar is 2 to 12. Burning Hands is 3d6 as opposed to 2d6. And this is 3 meters versus 5 meters. Command Halt's, interesting. Hellish Rebuke is another... It's an evocation spell. It's one of those reaction type spells. The next time you take damage, you use your reaction to surround them with fire that deals 2d10 fire damage. But it's kind of a reactionary spell as opposed to an offensive spell. You certainly can use it, especially in the fighter mage type of role. If you're going to be standing next to something that is going to be able to get a hit on you, then you can cast Hellish Rebuke, and if they do hit you, then they're going to have to make a dex saving throw or take 2d10 fire damage. But I think I'm probably going to take Burning Hands instead, and use that as my replacement spell. So that's level 2. Now we can level him up again. So again, we went up to our hit points went up, and now we have a pact boon. Warlocks have a pact to a deity or a creature of some sort. And in this case, we're going to get a gift from that patron. In early access, all we have is one boon, and that's Pact of the Chain. So what Pact of the Chain gives you is the ability as an action to bring in a familiar. And you can bring in any of the familiars that we saw in the Ranger gameplay. So the Raven, the Spider, all of those things. But you also have the Imp and the Quasit. The Imp is basically a much improved version of the Raven, except the Raven blinds targets, whereas the Imp poisons targets. And the Quasit is a melee-based familiar that when you hit can possibly frighten enemies. Both of these do a lot more damage than any of the other find familiars that you get from the wizard version of the spell. So these, in the realm of familiars that you're going to have on the battlefield, these two are vastly superior to anything else that you're going to encounter. So the Imp is going to be very, very useful throughout all of this, but when I get into melee situations, the Quasit is, again, very, very useful. And these can be cast as actions, so you can, if they die, you can renew the familiar afterwards. So it's a great way to cause damage as well as cause distractions on the battlefield. So now we also are going to get another spell. So now we get access to the level 2 wizard spell lineup. And here again, we have to think about what we're going to be doing. So the Cloud of Daggers is a go-to spell. Misty Step is very, very powerful. It's not a concentration spell, so you can use it whenever you want to get to locations where then you can utilize your Eldritch Blast to target enemies that might not otherwise be targetable. Cloud of Daggers is just such a useful area denial spell that even though that it is concentration and it interferes with Hex, it is just such a valuable spell to have. We're also going to have other ways that we can get Misty Step in the future. So you just have to keep in mind that if you take Cloud of Daggers as your level 2 Warlock spell, that you're not going to be able to utilize Hex when you are utilizing Cloud of Daggers. As soon as you cast Hex, Cloud of Daggers is going to go away. As soon as you cast Cloud of Daggers, Hex is going to go away. But it's just such a useful spell to have in so many situations that we're going to keep it. So when Cloud of Daggers is up and it is still useful, I can't cast Hex, but I can still rely on my Eldritch Blast just by itself. And then if I get to a point where the Cloud of Daggers is no longer needed, then I can swap to Hex, and the concentration for Cloud of Daggers goes away, and it don't need it anymore anyway. So I think it's a good trade-off to have. You just have to kind of be mindful of it. And there is no replacement spells that I want to use. These are the 3 that I already know. I don't want to swap them out for any of the others. Even though you certainly can, you could swap out something like Burning Hands or the Armor of Agathis for Misty Step or Scorching Ray or something like that. I'm happy with the spell choices that I have. So, okay, so the first thing we're going to do obviously is send those to camp. And now that Wyll is in our party, let's move over a bunch of these scrolls that we had on Wyll. Actually, I'm going to move all of them here, because I'm also going to split this. Put 1 potion of speed over here. And so now let's look at his proficiencies. So he is proficient with short bows. He's proficient with rapiers. That's the only martial weapon he's proficient with. And he's proficient with light armor. So this is what I was talking about with the mage armor. He can wear light armors, which are great, and he's going to get a +1 bonus to dex. But mage armor is going to help increase that armor class as we go here. So so he is proficient with short bows, so we will see. This is the don't have, so we'll take the short bow and put it over here. Rapiers are finesse weapons, which means they use your dexterity modifier for their 2 hit, which is good because his strength modifier is -1, and his dex, as we talked about earlier, is +1. So you want to use finesse weapons. So the rapiers are the best finesse weapon that he's going to be able to use. So that's kind of where you want to concentrate. And then padded armor is light armor. It gets him an armor class of 11. I don't have anything else that's going to be better than that, except that has disadvantage on stealth rolls. So I don't necessarily need to handicap him right off the bat with, again, padded armor. Just like the problem was with Astarion, we got rid of his padded armor just because of the disadvantage on stealth rolls. There's just no need for it. And we can move that Scroll of Magic Missile over there. Okay, so now what we want to make sure we do is that Wyll has the high charisma. He's got a +3 modifier to his charisma, so we're going to be utilizing Wyll to sell items as we go here. So you want to make sure that your higher priced items are all on Wyll to be able to sell. Okay? So we're going to take a few minutes here and just move over a bunch of the higher priced items. That we're going to have him sell. Until he is entirely full on his carry weight. Okay, forgot I had the short sword. The short sword is 1d6, the dagger's 1d4, so that's just a straight upgrade. Short swords are light and finesse, so you can dual wield them. So that's just a, like I say, a straight upgrade on those. The leather armor here. And now he's getting close to his carry weight. And we are going to sell Watcher's Guide. Rings. Got the malachite here. Okay, and see if you can carry the battle axe. And good. And the rest of it we will hold off on for now. So now what we definitely want to go do is just kind of walk around here and make sure that all of our dialogue is caught up with. And then we can carry on with the adventure here.
I wasn't expecting it, but I'm glad to have some company on this journey. Must we? No harm in a little mystery, don't you think? Conversation shouldn't be made. It should be grown. Let the seeds sprout in their own time. Sweet of you, but don't worry. I'm sure you'll get to know me just fine by traveling together. No need for interrogations just yet. Thank you. I'm sure we'll get along perfectly well.
Okay, so these are all the same options that we had previously.
I want to have a word.
Go ahead. I'm listening.
Okay, so nothing else on Gale.
You're staring at me again. What do you want?
Okay, so nothing else here. We already asked this question. Can ask it
Clearly
again.
the tadpole. If we can't understand it, we'll never control it.
Okay. And last would be Lae'zel.
Great talent or not, no druid can cleanse an embedded tadpole. Give no credence to such fantasy. Entirely. I was as devoted to my studies as I was to my training. To all questions, the Kalir Library harbors answers. A gift from Vlaakith herself, that we may gain total understanding. Countless scholars roam the astral sea and beyond, observing the ways of our lessers, exploring planes so distant, order turns to chaos, and cold fires rage. The planes are ever quaking, and their peoples ever shifting. The Githyanki possess an eternity of knowledge. Yet we still collect more. Infinities upon infinities.
Okay, so we've asked this question before. Okay, so everything is full up here. We want to go get our 40 camp supplies. So that's 16 plus 15 is 31 plus 8, 39, and one balsam bundle will be. Okay, we'll go ahead and take our long rest. 40 of 40. Okay, so we saw Astarion slinking off there.
Where am I needed?
Okay, so looking Oh, I forgot about the armor of shadows. You can't be wearing any armor with the armor of shadows. I forgot about that. Okay, so right now his armor class is 11 without any armor. We would need to find him something to wear. And he's got armor class 11 now. This is just clothing. So as opposed to his previous armor class of 12. But now, when
Can we stop shouting? No?
he puts this on, he can now cast Armor of Shadows, which is going to increase his armor class by 3. Okay. So now he's at 14. Okay. And he can also cast the Armor of Agathis. That's going to take a level 2 Warlock spell slot to be able to do it. But again, Eldritch Blast is a cantrip, and Hex is his other one. Minor Illusion is also a cantrip that he can cast, so what I'm really missing out on is if I cast Armor of Agathis, then I can cast Hex one time, and I won't be able to do anything else. I won't be able to use Cloud of Dagger. So I'm going to hold off on casting Armor of Agathis until I definitely need it. But it is something that when you go into combat, you can, if you know you're not going to be using Cloud of Daggers, then you can certainly cast Armor of Agathis up front before you go in and be prepared for it that way. So, but other than that, I think everything else is ready to go. So let's go get Wyll, and let's go sell off all of this stuff and clean up our inventory.
One move ahead. Refugees, adventurers, no one in years, and suddenly we're overwhelmed. Well met. And thank you for beating back those goblins. Most brave of you. Is there anything you need? Act fast if you do. The ritual will be complete before too long.
Take that back. Right.
I know it's drastic, but more monsters seem to terrorize this region every day. We druids will be safe. As for those that took refuge here, well, may Silvanus guard them as they continue their travels. As I said, it's a drastic measure, but the survival of the Grove is paramount. There just aren't enough supplies to support everyone. I pray no goblin arrow has grazed you. Nettie could put you to rights. She should be with the others in the inner chambers, but I doubt she'll be taking on new patients. The Grove will be locked down soon. Just some bits and bobs I no longer need.
Okay, so let's see what we have available to us. So we do have a leather armor +1. That's nice. We do have the Elemental Torment amulet, which is interesting but very situational. Dragon's Grasp, again, another one of those burned alive weapons, which I just don't see the point of. And Rain Dancer, which we know about, which we are definitely going to be picking up. But
Calm down, please.
okay, so you know what? I'm gonna look at something else.
You're going to get us killed.
Okay, yeah. So here's the way to sell your wares. All of these things that you have marked as wares in here, you can just click sell wares. And at that point, you're going to get an option here, and it's going to say he's going to give you 918 gold, but you're worth 1,553. So that's not really a great deal. So now you can take Rain Dancer and put it in here. You can see we're getting closer to what we want, but we're still not there. So you can then start taking objects out of here.
I care about our lives, our futures.
Okay, so it's really the ruby that is getting us over that limit. So let's see what other high value items. So the armors, yeah, the armors here. So we can remove some of these armors. Okay. We can also remove the long swords, great axe. So it's really just those things that are holding us up.
We don't even know these people.
Okay, we're getting down to the point.
That doesn't matter.
Of course it does.
Almost there.
Strangers over us.
Okay, so that would leave him with 6.
Not what I said.
Can we stop shouting? No.
Don't have anything. Yeah. Okay, so that is closest we're going to get. Make sure. So yeah, he's asking 1138. We're selling for 1137. So we're going to end up giving him 1 more gold out of this. So I think we're good.
Going to get us killed.
Okay, and yeah, we're going to give him 1 gold back. Okay. So that gets us the Rain Dancer, which we wanted to have. We want to have that that ability available to us to create water. Okay, and now he's out. So there's nothing else that we want to look at except for possibly the leather armor +1, but we're going to come back to that.
Silvanus, guide your path.
Okay, so let's go ahead and get some quick interactions out of the way while we're here.
A word, if I may.
Hells! We can't just leave. They're kin!
I'll not gamble our lives, our futures, on people who are as good as dead. We must leave for Baldur's Gate at once.
Can we all just take a moment, please?
What's the point in blazing spells if we don't bloody use them? We should stay! These people aren't fighters. We can help!
Or yell louder. That's fine too.
Okay, so I'm going to try and benefit from this big charisma source that I have. Wow, good roll.
Thank you. It's the right thing to do, and you know it.
She's right, Roland. We're better than this.
Zerg. Fine, I'll stay too. Lest you both end up with your throats slit by Goblin Blade.
Thank you, Roland.
Okay, and we're going to be using Wyll for most of our NPC interactions here.
I am not grumpy.
That scowl on your face would frighten troll.
Okay, so we did make his perception check.
Goblins out forever. This is no fortress and we're no warriors.
Okay, so then opening up the pouch, see we have another agate and some gold. And that can go.
This place is a bloody death trap, not a sanctuary. You should clear off while you can.
Okay, so what we are going to do is head down around this way.
Where did I put that old bucket?
And talk to one of the children.
Next time the goblins come, I'll be ready. Oh, right. Go for the heart.
This is boring. We should train against real goblins.
And again. Thanks for spending time with the kids. I just wish... Well, thanks.
Okay, so we'll go there and talk to Gex.
Step, Harry, strike, damn it! It's just not landing. Nothing but. Goblins in the wild, out for blood, and the druids in here looking to kick us out. Or worse. We need to be ready for a fight. But I'm useless with a sword.
Okay, so we have some options here on how to go about it. So none of them are going to give us any bonuses. Athletics is going to give us a minus. So, but it is will, so we get an additional choice here.
Like this, you mean? Step, step, strike! Yes! You really know what you're doing. Found this by the road. Bet you'll put it to good use. Hopefully, it's just the goblins we have to worry about. The druids are treating us like vermin. But I'll keep at it. Thank you. Oh, yes. I'll bite my tongue when the time comes.
Okay, so he gave us a battle axe. Don't really need it, but it is what it is.
Parry, swing. One more time.
Okay, so we can search the backpack here. Those to camp. Be careful what you click on down here.
I love surprises.
Because there will be things that are marked as steel. And don't want to get yourself in trouble by accidentally clicking on something that's marked as steel. Yep, see, like these? They kind of come out of nowhere, so just be careful.
Swivel and wait.
Goblins, druids. This grove is a death trap. Grab what you can and get out. That's my advice.
Okay, Zoru, we're gonna skip for a second.
Water. My dagger.
We're gonna head over this way.
We should have left by now. Damnation! Instead, we're just sitting here, practically begging to be attacked. Staying is a mistake. And what about us? There's every chance we've doomed ourselves by helping these people. We will end up fodder for some goblin's blade, all because Leah insists on helping every wounded foe we see. Our best chance to make it to Baldur's Gate is on our own. This place is lost. You are looking at Larian's newest apprentice. Yes, that Larian. The greatest wizard in Baldur's Gate. His name is known far and wide, I see. Few can match him in terms of raw power and talent. Until now, that is. In years to come, you will boast of this meeting, I can assure you. May we meet again in Baldur's Gate, my friend.
So some of these interactions possibly set up future things in Baldur's Gate itself, which we'll see in the full release of the game. So that's why it's interesting to go through all of these interactions, because you just don't know.
What do you need
Because you just don't know whether or not these interactions are going to be important or not at some point later on. So, looks like everything here's steel. So we'll talk to Okta.
You! Saw you fighting those slimy bastards. Fancy a bowl? Best to fill your belly now, while we still can.
Look, it ain't much, but it might make all the difference. The only way we'll make it to Baldur's Gate is to run, and run hard. If a gnoll catches your scent, you'll need every bit of strength. Trust me.
Okay. And now looks like everything else is steel. There's some very interesting stuff over here, and then we want to talk to Auntie Ethel here.
Time for a chat.
Ah, if it isn't the talk of the camp. Thank goodness you came along when you... Oh! There isn't a bit of colour in those cheeks, Petal. Are you hurt? Cold? Feverish? Auntie Ethel will sort you out. I've lotions and potions galore. Are you all right? Oh, stop! Even on a good day, half the camp acts like a bunch of screaming brats. I'm tempted to smack them all on the backside and tell them to kiss and make up. Not that they'd listen to little old me. Anyway, do you need anything? I have a few odds and ends for sale. Hey, bother.
Okay, so now we get interesting. So Coralon's Grace is pretty nice for a wizard. If you're attacked and you're not wearing armor, you're going to receive a 1d4 bonus to saving throws. I'm going to be using Wyll's rapier more to do damage as opposed to a staff or something like that. Spell Thief is, again, an interesting one. I don't think that it works with Warlock. That's an interesting question. If it works with Warlock spell slots or not. It's level 1 spell slots anyway, and Wyll's got level 2 spell slots, but also it's a longbow. He's not proficient with it. But it was just an interesting question. But I can see some options for it. For getting things like a ranger and that sort of stuff, getting a critical hit with it, you get back a level 1 spell, which would allow you to cast Hunter's Mark again and things like that. But again, critical hits are so rare. Like I say, it's a 5% chance every time you use it, that it's really not anything that's that you want to focus on, so to speak. So let's see what we've got here. So if we sell all of those to her, that's going to be an additional 431. Oh, and we can put this over here, and she's going to equal this out until she can no longer cast anything. The pouch is now empty. We'll go ahead and do that.
Oh, what'd I do for some salt?
Interesting.
Take care now, sweetie.
Okay, so we are full up on inspirations now. So let's go ahead and add the rest of these items over here to Wyll. And we'll get him ready to sell all of these. Okay. Be enough to transfer all of these. We're going to keep the soul coins for now. Okay. So he is encumbered. But I think we're going to be able to get rid of quite a bit of this encumbrance when we finish selling to Auntie Ethel here. Okay, so let's just go with that for now.
Hello, Petal. Need anything? Any lotions or potions?
Okay, here's this question that we can now talk to her about.
As you recount your adventure, Auntie Ethel nods along, her eyes wide.
You poor pet! My heart goes out to you, truly. I see no sign of a tentacle yet, but that could change in an instant. You need help. Serious help. I've ne'er a potion or lotion here that could do it, but...
We're exposed now.
Yes, I may have something at home.
I forgot, this may cause her to leave. But let's ask our warlock question here.
Oh, whatever do you mean, Petal? Like one of those red wizard lich lickers, please. I'm a simple woman, sweetie. Tea and potions are as exciting as it gets for these old bones. But enough nattering. I'll be heading home shortly. Here, let me mark it on your map. Be careful on the road. I'd hate if something happened to you. Take care, Petal.
Okay, so she didn't leave. I do have an option to trade with her again. But yes, that opens up another quest option and also gives us some insight about what we're going to be dealing with a little bit further down. This way. So sell wares, so she can't do everything, so let's take back some of these books, I think. 48. So we need to get rid of 8 more. Okay, well, let's not spend too much time on it. I have another pouch. I did. We don't want to give her any money, so
Exposed now.
there you go. Okay. So now we're finished with her.
Sweetie.
One move ahead.
We're gonna go over here, talk to Damon.
Thanks for fighting off those goblins. If you need to replace any gear, just ask. My selection's pretty slim. I had to leave most of my equipment in Elturel.
Forgot to transfer everything to Wyll. So, finish doing that real quick. Haven't found any way in early access to grab a group of things and transfer them. Would be nice. Because this is the first playthrough where I'm actually actively trying to maximize my money by transferring everything to my high charisma character to utilize. So it would be nice to have a transfer option or something like that to transfer multiple things, but there isn't one that I know of. So again, holding all of the stuff in steel. Just be careful when clicking on Damon.
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close. The best. People came from as far as Neverwinter to buy my swords. Funny how things change when your bloodline becomes a problem. Guess I'll be starting over in Baldur's Gate. I hope people are more open-minded there.
Okay, so let's see what he has. So he does have the scale mail +1. That is the best medium armor in the game. It's got an armor class of 15. Your dexterity bonus is limited to 2 when you use it, but it is, like I say, the best medium armor in the game. Short bows +1 are always very, very useful. The maul +1 I'm not going to be using. The warhammer +1 I'm not going to be using either. Well, the warhammer +1 you can. I'm not entirely sure. Let me look at something. Okay, well let's just get rid of, let's barter first and get rid of the wares. So we're gonna sell all my wares. Okay, he's gonna give us 1811. We are gonna want the scale mail +1 no matter what. Okay, so that gets us now into a position where we're using some of our gold. We're gonna give him 919 of it back. And the short bow +1 is a definite advantage for anybody. But I'm just going to barter with this for now.
What will we do for work when we get to the city?
And then we're going to take
I think I'd make a fine teacher.
scale mail +1. That's going to up his to 17 for his armor class. Now, if I put this on Wyll, I can up his armor class to 15. But the mage armor is going to go away. So, the chain shirt, however, over here, it can replace, and now her armor class goes up to 17. So I'm actually going to keep... Oh, wait a minute. Oh. There. Now her armor class is up to 18. So the chain shirt, now I can sell. I think that's it. So the armor proficiency is just light armor. Just light armor. I did want to check her weapon proficiencies. So she does maces and no martial weapons. So it's just a mace. The warhammer is not any good for her. His is only rapiers. I can use anything on Jorval, and Asterion does have longbows. So the short bow +1 is not going to be an upgrade for him. I also think I'm going to try and find hand crossbows for him. If I can dual wield 2 hand crossbows, that could be a really big deal for my secondary, or for my ranged attacks. I think I'll be able to get more damage out of them. But yeah, could use rapiers, but that's, again, sacrificing an offhand attack to do it. So he is proficient with the short sword that he's using right now, which is good. So, but he also does have longbow proficiency. So the short bow +1 would go to somebody else here in the party. So it's, again, very useful.
We're exposed now. Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
So I think I am going to get it. I'm going to sell the chain shirt. And I'm going to pick up the short bow +1. Dagger +1's also a straight upgrade for Astarion. Well, it's not a straight upgrade for Astarion anymore. Because he's got a short sword, which is 1d6 as opposed to 1d4 +1. So I think I am just going to pick up the short bow +1 just for some additional damage.
Sure, blood excites me.
I think we're done here. Trading for now. So we will take this, and I think for now... we're going to give it to Astarion. Okay, so I can sell that short bow.
Looking for steel? I have, well, something close.
Okay. Alright. So for now, I think we're where we want to be.
The goblins aren't smart enough to
With this. So we can go on and get the rest of these interactions. Actually, yeah, we'll get the rest of these interactions out of the way.
Good to be back behind the walls, have to say. For as long as that lasts. Don't make me urgent, boy.
Baldur's Gate.
Too late! Looking at you is painful in my love. You were a caravan escort for 3 days.
If it ain't the fearless Goblin Slayer, you sure you want to be seen with me? I ain't exactly popular with this lot.
Well, it was his caravan.
Half my crew are full of holes. Now I'm gonna take the blame for leading the goblins here, and losing track of the bloody druid. They chased us, all the way from the ruins we were poking around in. Aye. His name's Halsin. And if he's still alive, he'll be cursing the day he laid eyes on me. We've got a contract to track down some relic, and he wanted in on the job. Eyes lit up when he heard about it. Didn't work out, though. Goblins got him when we were turning tail. He's either digging latrines or boiling in a cookpot by now. Job's all yours, if you got a death wish. There's a wizard in Baldur's Gate that'll pay gobloads for a relic, supposedly buried round these parts. But gold ain't any use if you're too cold to spend it.
What will we do for work when we get to
If I knew that, I wouldn't be back here, with half my crew gone. But look,
I think I'd
if you're
make a
itching
fine
to meet
teacher.
Kellenvor,
Or a
I
baker.
won't stop you.
Or
It's
a
called the
butcher.
Night Song. Supposed to be hidden under the temple where the goblins jumped us. I'd give you the map and wish you a happy funeral. But my mate Brian kept hold of it like his own Todger. Goblins made sure to the fat old chunk. All I've got's the contract. It'll show you where we turn back, if you feel like dying. Don't thank me. I'll be well on my way to Baldur's Gate when you die.
Okay. So... can... look at the stamped handbill. Basically talking about Master Roacan again, which we learned about a little bit ago, and is looking for the Night Song. And everything else down here is for steel. Up here there's one more interaction that we can do.
And we'll have a dog, right?
They don't allow them in Baldur's Gate. Cats, though?
A little orange cat. And a house with a little door so that it can come and go as it pleases.
And a high fence to keep eavesdroppers out. Thanks. I suppose we'll all need it.
What about you? Big plans for when you get to the city? I think I've heard of that place. Something about a stuffed dragon's head in one of the dining rooms. It's settled, Danis. You, me, and the Elf Song Tavern first thing when we arrive. If we see you there, we'll get you a pint. For your finder's fee.
Okay, so again, another one of those interactions that maybe, once in the full version, you get to Baldur's Gate itself. Maybe you'll find them.
Damn goblins.
And you quit in the middle of your shift.
Like the sight of blood, do you? Thought you'd have had your fill at the gate. Might be more blood spilled yet, if Zevlor starts in on the lectures again. Well, finally, someone who ain't got horns where their good sense should be. We expected a soft job. Something to test the new lad, maybe, but not a bloody goblin nest. Most would have turned tail at the sight, but not Liam, no. He charged him off, the stupid bastard.
Touch me and I'll bite
He
your fingers off.
must have thought we were following. Always the optimist was Liam. Hope they cut him down quick before he saw we were gone. Wound looks clean.
So that didn't work out well for Liam. Your friends didn't follow you into
Small mercies.
into battle. Okay, so yeah. We're gonna go here. Can't actually deal with this interaction. Actually, we already talked to Barth.
Or a butcher.
Think.
Give it back. Only gonna ask you one more time, boy. Hand over my locket.
I don't have your ugly locket. I've never seen it before.
Hand it over or I'll slap the teeth out of your head. You threatening me?
Okay, so we do have persuasion or intimidation. So got intimidation proficiency here. Might as well throw on a guidance.
You don't understand. The kid stole my locket. He... Oh, the hell's with this? These little devils get away with everything because of coddling bastards like you. You'll get yours someday. I hope I get to see it.
Maybe you will, but personally, I doubt it. See you around.
And Millie probably actually did steal the locket. But that was another inspiration, and I already have 4, so that one got wasted. Actually.
We're
So
exposed now. We've known enough grief this 10-day traveler. Don't be the cause of more.
You're the one who helped at the gate. Glad to have another sword. We might need it.
okay, let's talk to Zevlor here.
Ah, I've already spoken to your traveling companion. Well met. Have you spoken to Korga? Of course, you have your own business to attend to. But if the druids won't abandon this ritual of theirs, it will be trouble. For all of us. No word from the scouts yet?
Okay.
No, sir.
So over here we do have some items that we can search that
They'll
are
find
not
it.
marked as steel.
Yes. Of course.
Okay, so nothing else that we want to look at. Okay, what we want to do, however, also look around here. None of this is marked as steel. We do have some other things, some bases that we can search. There's normally not anything in these. Okay, now we're going to take Astarian and unlock the wooden chest. Cast guidance on himself for this. With a guaranteed +7 plus guidance, it's really hard to fail these. But trust me when I say you can.
No one back home will ever believe
now we're going to head up here.
Another step forward.
We've used quite a few camp supplies.
Commander.
So we want to do some searching up here and replenish those. There's a lot of wine laying around here.
They can and did. Avernus changed things.
Zevlor.
Okay, so I'm just picking all these up. All of the wine up. Because it's all going to stack in my inventory. And I can then open my inventory and send each stack to camp at once. So okay, and there's nothing else here. So now I can go in here and, like I say, we can now send these to the camp individually as stacks. Whoops. Where's it to camp? And I picked up a bottle, which we don't need. Okay. Now we're going to head up the wooden ladder.
Let's see what this does.
It says there's a quest marker on it on the mini-map, but it's not. It's just because this entire area is outside, and there's quest markers out here. Let's talk to Lacrissa. Actually,
Used to think the goblins would kill us the second we set foot outside. But after hearing what you did at the gate, well, I still think they'll kill us. But at least we can put up a fight. Well, we came through Avernus. We might not look it, but we're tough. Who knows? Some of us might even make it to Baldur's Gate. There's optimism. Plenty of us fell to monsters already. I don't see the rest of us lasting long out there. But if you're so sure we will, why not put a little gold on the line? Excellent. And since I ain't one to leave a debt unpaid, that means we're destined to meet in Baldur's Gate.
okay, looks like the conversation bugged out.
Goblins, gnomes.
Okay, but again, one more thing that in the full version, getting to Baldur's Gate, maybe we'll have some interesting consequences. So we're going to toggle our group mode just to kind of show you what's out here, but you can come out here and jump across this with sufficiently high strength. Okay, and you can come around the back way toward this encounter that we're going to get to here in a little bit. This is the way that you enter Silvanus' Grove normally, and we found the back entrance right here. So a little bit farther down that road, you're going to come into this encounter. So we will get to that here pretty quick. I don't think you can get up here. Yeah. But that's another way to get into Silvanus' Grove, is if you jump up and come in this way. But you have to have either Misty Step or really high strength to make the jump at the end down here to do it. So it's not a way that you normally want to come into this area. Okay. Fine, just go back down. Okay, and then up here, we needed to bring... No, we're good. In short steps. Okay, we can loot the heavy chest. Okay. So again, another one of those things where you want to make sure that you're checking up, down, sideways, all of that sort of stuff when you look around your environment. Because there's just a lot of different ways that things can be hidden from you, like this cragged rock being able to go up and down it and find things. Now we're done out here, so we're going to head back down the hatch.
Pardon?
When we get to Baldur's Gate, where are we enlisting?
I'm done soldiering, Tilly. I'd like a clean start. But go with the watch. You're too honest.
We're exposed
Okay.
now.
And then I think everything else is now opened up. We've done all the interactions. This area really opened up when we looked over it from above with Lacrissa here. And we're back here where we started with Aaron. So now
Sharp as ever.
let's head on down here around this way. And I think
What now?
I want to do this with Astarion. I'm going to cast Guidance on myself.
Such steps.
He stares right past you as if you're invisible or boring. You see nothing out of the ordinary. As you turn back, the child slips between the rocks.
Okay, so now I have an investigation check. Gonna have advantage here. Already got guidance. Perfect.
You find the edges of a concealed entrance. No trigger or handle, though. No way to open it.
Okay. So now we can finish a little searching here. And we can lockpick this chest.
Should be easy.
Okay, so we still have guidance active. With an 8 to 11 bonus. Like I say, it gets to the point where even with a 15 DC, it's kind of hard to fail the checks. But that's what D&D dice are for. To give you completely random failures.
Hold out your hand, mister. Let me show you something. Go on. Take this ring. It's lucky. I never learned names or anything. Just the tricks. Anyway, forget that. Take the ring. I want to show you how lucky it is.
Okay. Look at all the advantages. A natural one would have failed it. That's another illustration of how important having advantage is.
Weeping, bleeding hells! Okay, maybe you don't need extra luck. But since you're already holding the thing, call it heads or tails. Heads it is. See? That's the kind of luck you get from one of my lucky rings. I've got more where that came from. Real cheap too. Interested? I don't know what you mean. The hell it is? You can't do that one with rings. It has to be with bracelets because... Oh, damn. Last chance. You want to look at my stuff or not? I knew it. Hang on. That's what I got.
Okay. Another inspiration that was wasted. But you did get XP out of it. Basically, this is one of the benefits of going through this with having Astarion in the party, is because he's able to get some extra interactions there and that sort of stuff, which makes, you know, a lot of things much more interesting. So, already got plenty of thieves' tools, so I don't need to buy anything or do any trading or anything like that. So, I think we're done with the trades. Actually, Wyll might have some, yes. Okay, so this will clear out his inventory anyway.
Nothing caught your eye, huh? Far be it from me to argue with that discerning eye of yours, sir. Anyway, see you again sometime. Take care. Safe travels.
I failed. Oh.
You realize your bag feels
There you go.
light. You were just robbed.
Okay, so you didn't catch him in the act, but you did notice that you had been robbed.
Hey, you're back. Here to buy some stuff? Me? No, promise. I'm just a kid trying to make a living. You know who you should talk to? Moll. She's my boss, I guess. Good at finding stuff. Her office is through the crack in the wall over there, if you can fit.
Okay. So, can't get in this way. But down here, you can.
I can't fit through.
Oh, can't fit through there.
If there's another way.
Okay, well we'll get everything back here in a little bit.
Sharp as ever. A word, if I may.
Oh, hi. Me? Suspicious? No? What? No, it wasn't her. She's my boss? I shouldn't have said that. I gotta go.
Before you can say anything else, she sprints away.
Okay. So we're going to go down here and we're going to get into the heart of the grove.
Please, let us through. Let my daughter go right now.
She's a thief, hellspawn. And you will wait for Korga's judgment. Now get back!
Oh, let me through, Mragrasham, or I'll rip your damn throat out!
Okay. Well, that's going to cause a panic.
Damn it! We could have taken... We need to get Arabella out. Now!
You heard the guards. They're waiting on Korga to give word.
I'd sooner trek through the 9 hells than trust that snake. Ugh!
Arabella tried to steal their idol. Druids lost their damn minds about it. They need it for their precious ritual.
Oh, it's all my fault. I told her I wished the wretched thing would just disappear, or better yet, explode.
Now Arabella's being judged by a bunch of druids who hate us. That's not right.
Looks like some of the interactions here are a little glitched.
Thank you. They won't give us the time of day.
Hurry! I'm at the end of my tether as is. Can't take this waiting.
I could try greasing palms. Ease things over.
Lives are at stake, and the cowards only care about their bloody rituals.
We could help each other. Fight the goblins together. Instead, these fools are trying to chase us away.
Do all the damn rituals.
Those dirt kissers would let us die for the sake of their bloody grove.
Okay, so let's go down here and get the interaction here at the gate taken.
Stop! Move back at once!
Amongst these adventurers, what have you heard?
Keep back! Force my hand and I'll show you its claws.
A moment, Giona.
Keep their confidence
What?
if you insist.
Oh, I understand. You! Apparently Korga wants to see you. Go ahead.
Okay.
She's giving them hell.
So that opens that up, and now we want to explore a couple of different areas here. One, we can explore something that will help us get our belongings back. And two, we can pick up an amulet that we really want to pick up. So, first, let's go talk to Volo here.
Hello! Ah, my good friend. You were at the gates just now, no? When the goblins came? You saw them up close? A few questions, if you please. There's no overstating my interest. Glory. Now then, how would you describe that particular batch of goblins? Size, nature, distinguishing qualities?
You search your mind, successfully recalling various details of goblin behavior.
Goblins were of a rare, jam-colored hue and wielded magic blowguns. And the dragon they had marching in the rear, was it of the brass or silver variety? Witness mistook obvious silver dragon for brass. Last question, then you'll be quite free. Did the attackers rally to the absolute when they fell upon the gates? They did, didn't they? Oh, curious. Oh, curious indeed. I've interrogated one, a captive in this very camp. She reports they've abandoned their god Maglabiet in favor of someone called the Absolute. The scandal! Ah, but is superstition all? These goblins are informed by a kind of strategy anathema to their kind. I, for one, intend to get to the bottom of it. I'm just preparing to head to their camp as we speak, in fact. If you'll excuse me, I ought not to dawdle. My friend, every story benefits from a dragon. Until we meet again.
Volo we're going to be seeing more of in the future.
Would that we could speak freely, my Ursine friend.
Alas, I've never learned to converse.
Okay, we're gonna head down this way. Move that rock out of the way. Now we need to be very careful here.
How delicious.
We're going to toggle group mode. We're going to hide Astarion, and then we're going to have him go over and pick up the Amulet of Silvanus. Okay. Perfect. Now we can group everybody back up. The Amulet of Silvanus is a very, very good amulet to have, and we'll put it on Shadowheart for now. Why does it say equipped by Astarion? Interesting. It allows her to cast the level 2 spell Lesser Restoration. Lesser Restoration is a great spell that allows you to remove one disease or condition or something like that affecting a creature. So if somebody's stunned, if somebody's poisoned, if something like that, or if they're just suffering from some sort of affliction or condition that is causing them negative things like disadvantage or negatives on ability checks, you can use this amulet to cast Lesser Restoration once per short rest. So incredibly valuable to have. You want to make sure that you come down here and pick it up as soon as you get the chance. So now we're going to head back up, and we're going to go over and look at getting our stuff back. And to do that, we're going to go exploring a little bit, but first let's head over here.
I do wish I could understand you.
No, that doesn't work. Damn it.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away. Words of mine will change. No. Become...
Change? No. Damn it!
No, I'm moments away from a grisly death. At the hands of this bloody song. I can't... Nothing fits, you know?
This is an interaction where you wish you had a bard in your party, because it might get very interesting and offer some other dialogue options. But maybe in another playthrough.
It can't hurt. I have an extra loot, if you want. I'll start from the beginning. We'll take it slow.
Dance upon the stars tonight. Smile and pain will fade away.
Okay, so I do have a performance check. +3 from Charisma. It is a pretty high DC, but we'll see what we can do. Since we're not a bard, we don't have performance proficiency. Wow, good roll.
Words of mine will turn to ash when you call the
light down.
See if we can do it again.
Moon reminds me of your grace, all the love I can't repay. Rest and know that I will pray. Farewell, my dear old friend. Sorry. Thanks. That's the first time I've played since Lihala died. My teacher. She was playing her lute. We didn't hear the gnolls coming. There was so much blood. I can still smell it. She'd yell at me for that clunky verse and make me play till my fingers were raw. And that's exactly what I'm going to do. Finish the Weeping Dawn. For her. Keep the lute. Please. You've earned it. I've a long way to go. But thank you. I needed this.
Okay. So, we received Halia's lute. It's basically just another musical instrument for bards. There's nothing that I can do with it, so going to end up having to sell it. Oh, can't add that to wares. And we do still have the magic ring here from our previous encounter. So we can go along here, and there is a gilded chest here for Astarian to lockpick. Uh-oh. Nope. No worries. Okay, so the only way you can fail it when you have that is by rolling a natural 1. Even with a 2, you have a 7 bonus plus at least 1 from guidance. So the only way to fail it is by rolling a natural 1, which, like I say, for a 10 DC makes it a little bit unfair, almost. So the Cap of Curing is what comes out of this. I think this entire area up here was added when the Bard was added in... Was that patch 8? Yeah, it was patch 8. Because the Cap of Curing is a Bard item that whenever you use your Bardic Inspiration on an ally, they also gain hit points. Again, won't be able to do anything with it, so... going to end up selling it, but it is what it is. There are some decent Bard items here waiting for you in the game, so if you're playing that class, don't think that you've been left out or anything like that. Okay, so now we're going to head down here. We're going to get an autosave for a reason. We're going to head down here to the beach. Okay, the first thing that we're going to do is to toggle group mode and to take Astarian. I think Astarian can make this. Actually, I don't know if he can or not. He can. Okay. He's going to cast guidance on himself. Okay, and he did pass the perception check. Okay, and that's all that there is over here. You can jump over here. You can Misty Step over to here, but there's nowhere to go over here that I've found. Could be wrong about that, but I don't think there is. I don't think that even
Very well.
Dorval can make it with his high strength, but let's see. Yeah, he can't. Not even close. So he can't make it over to there. Yeah. It's Misty Step only to get over there, but I don't think there's anywhere you can go back down this way. Like I say, could be wrong about that, but I don't think that I am. Okay. So now, down here at the beach, we did get a question about singing, and you see that on our map we have a quest marker for an entranced child. And we do hear that singing. Okay, so actually what I'm going to do is I'm going to take Starian. And we're now in the secluded cove. Okay, and there are some things that we can search over here. Okay. So nothing else that we need. But can hide him out here. Okay.
I'll take this way.
Don't think there's anything up here to find. But we'll just go check and make sure. Yeah, there's not. But the keen-eyed among you may see that we've opened up a section of the map that looks like it's possible travelable to, and there is a harpy nest over here, which should give you a clue as to what we're going to be encountering in a little bit. Okay. So we're going to take Shadowheart.
None shall see me.
And put her down here. Okay, I think
Ever onward.
we're going to put Wyll here. There's the child, Mirkon, that we want to deal with.
Toning things down.
And the Barbarian does not have the greatest wisdom here, but he's got some. We'll go down here and we will check on this encounter. Okay, we do want to save before this, just in case it glitches out.
Shh. Listen.
A sweet melody plays above the waves, beckoning you, drowning out all logical thought.
Alright, so we only have a DC of 5, but this would be my chance to fail it. Watch. Nope. We're getting really good rolls today.
The suffocating yearning suddenly fades as the spell breaks. You are free.
Interesting. We have a Barbarian performance here, this advantage. Okay, so my save was successful. Mirkon rolled the highest on advantage. Oh no, it wasn't successful. Okay. Wyll is lured too, which is just bad. Okay. So now we want to get our people into the fight. I wasn't expecting them both to be lured.
Damn monster. What? I'll make you pay. What happened?
Okay. Finally got somebody who resisted the song. I don't think Lesser Restoration helps him to avoid that. But what we want to do is get her
On I go.
down here again. Oh, and Lesser Restoration is a melee version anyway. We do want to get Wyll some healing. And hope that they resist the song here at some point. You know what I can do? Let's cast Silence.
Stay out of my head. Damn monster. I'll make you pay.
Okay. So now we can get Wyll some hit points back. Okay, and now Wyll can make some attacks here. So let's first let's check and see. Okay, so they have horrible intelligence checks. They have decent dexterity checks, so they're getting a couple points to their armor class. So let's their wisdom's already already at 0. So I think we're going to probably hex their wisdom. Well, no, let's hex their constitution. Okay, and then we're gonna cast Eldritch Blast. Okay, it was a miss. Oh, great. Everybody's lured. Jeez. I have never had this bad luck with getting lured. Everybody in my party is incapacitated. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. So this is the one that's singing now. I think I'm just going to have to up the ante. A 55% chance to hit. And try and I mean, I could cast another silence, but these are no longer in silence, and they just they just luring song again. So I think we need to start trying to kill as much as we can. So I might as well make the attack here and try and cause this to break.
No, this
Okay.
isn't right.
Damn monster.
So that did break the concentration, and Wyll is really hurt.
Take your...
This is my time.
So who's going to get the next attack? One up here? Yeah, she's going to be attacking next. I can't reach anyway, so I'm going to have to attack one of these. Okay. And I'm going to take a healing potion. Okay. So, I have advantage here. So I can sneak attack. So I'm hoping I can get the kill here.
With pleasure.
Perfect. Okay. And now I'm going to dash to get myself into where's the other one at? Over here. To get myself into a more advantageous position.
On the way.
To attack this one in the future. Not going to be able to do anything now, but coming up I will. Oh. The worst. This is the worst luck I have ever had in this fight. The absolute worst. Okay, well, finally, we'll be able to get in here. Okay, and the Barbarian at that point was like, I'm through with all of you. So now we're going to just move as much as we can. Wow. Again. Everybody is just resisting, or everyone is getting lured. It's just crazy. Okay, she doesn't have any silence left, but she does have 3 silence scrolls. I just don't think that she can reach. No. Can't. So... Can't believe this harpy got up here. That's crazy. Crazy. Okay. Yeah, go ahead. Everybody's just lured.
What was that, monster? I'll make you pay.
Okay. So... Okay, so our concentration was broken. Not a whole lot I'm going to be able to do here. Shadow Heart.
Take you.
Okay, so I do not have advantage here. %55 chance to hit. Okay, and then I'm going to take a healing potion. I don't think I'm going to be able to get in place.
Don't waste a step.
Don't think I'll have a shot here. Oh, I do. It's a very small one. That was good that I took it. There's nothing that Shadowheart's going to be able to do over here. Way out of range. Oh, there's 25% chance to hit. The miss. Alright. That was the absolute worst encounter I've ever gone through with the Harpies in my playthroughs. She did end up killing Mirkon too. That's the first time that Mirkon's ever died. Oh, just horrible. Just absolute.
What a day.
So, we'll loot through the Harpies. There's normally not a whole lot to look at.
Whatever comes, I'm ready.
And we can break her concentration on silence. Okay.
On my way. Let's have a look.
Now, down here, you can don't think, well, there's a pile of bones that we can search up here. Okay, nothing there. Nothing else that you can get here, but then you can climb down here. I love how he sits down and slides off. That's hilarious. Okay, there's a wooden trunk here that we can search. Continue on around. And you want to have somebody with a decent jump ability for this part. because you do have to make a jump up to here. Another one up to here. Then you can... There's a couple of things. So there's a journal. There's this letter. Then you can search the Harpy nest. Okay, you get a ring of color spray. Bloodstone, which will be sold, and some more camp supplies. Then you can head back. So, since Mirkon died, and I've never had him die before, I'm anxious to see how that plays out with the quest. We'll talk about that here in a second once I get back. There is can reach up here, but there's nothing. It's just an elevated position to get yourselves into when dealing with the Harpy Encounter. I just choose to use these two positions normally when I'm doing it. Okay, once he gets up here, we'll group everybody up. We're going to do a short rest. Get our hit points back. Okay, then we can head ourselves back up here. I could go search this Harpy while I'm here. Nothing. Okay. So, while we're here, let's look at our journal so we can see what impact this might have, and we can clear up all these things that we started off. So we'll start down here with our companions. Nothing really special so far about it. So just all the standard stuff that we've started, with the exception that we now know that Shadowheart wants to reach Baldur's Gate. So we freed Lae'zel. That was a long time ago when we freed her and then recruited her. We investigated the beach. We helped the child, but the child died. Which is interesting because this ties into find your belongings. So we learned that the leader of the thieves is called Mole. She might have our belongings. We can't fit through the entrance. If you would save Mirkon, he would tell you the password to be able to go up there and talk to them to be able to get into the hideout. But he's dead. So I don't know how this is going to work now. Save Arabella we picked up earlier. We're going to go through that quest next week. Find the Night Song. This is a continuing quest that's going to carry us through the Underdark and the Goblin camp. So it's a long-term quest that is currently not completable in early access. But we'll pick up some more entries for this as we go along the playthrough. So save the refugees. We need to speak with Kaga. And Wyll says that we should go to the Goblin camp and take out all the leaders. So the main quest is remove the parasite, of course. Auntie Ethel said that she could help us. We learned that the druid Halsin might be able to help us. There's a healer Nettie in the camp that might be able to help us and that sort of stuff. So that's what this is. Get help from healer Nettie and Auntie Ethel and the druid Halsin. And we've known ever since we recruited Lae'zel that the Githyanki cat or Kresh might be able to help us. So that kind of brings us up to date on all of our open quests here.
Ah, my grizzled friend. What can you tell me about this place?
So now we can finish up some interactions out here.
Speak. The bird knows. She needs to know. You do not.
Okay, so we do have some intimidation. 15 DC, but I am on advantage here. And both horrible rolls. So I'm going to roll again. Okay, there we go. Not likely out of 4 rolls that I'm going to fail it. And I've got inspiration,
Please, not so loud. I'll tell you, but please don't do that again. More follow Korga every day. They are afraid, and she offers a simple solution. Eject the refugees, and we will be safe. A druid and an outsider. We can do nothing without turning the others against us. Only Master Halsin can stop this. I pray my bird returns with news of him. If not, I fear for my people. The ritual is Korga's decision, but she is not our leader. Master Halsin welcomed the refugees in. I wait for him to resolve this.
Okay, so we did pick up some more information there. Okay, we don't have speak with animals, so some of these options are not going to be available to us. So we can't speak to the bear, the sleeping bear, to get it to move. But you probably could cast like Lesser Restoration or something like that and wake it up and get it to move. You could use the lever. But that is for another time. And there's so much that speak with animals down here would be useful to interact with. But we just can't right now because we don't have that spell loaded. Shadow Heart doesn't have that spell available. So yeah, we don't have any option to cast Speak with Animals right now. We will be getting that option available to us, but just not this early in the playthrough. Okay, so we had a... Actually, while we're here, we can finish up looking at one more thing. Let's go up here and see what happened with the... See if we can get our belongings back.
Hey, you're back. Here to buy some stuff?
I can take one of the guards.
Me?
Maybe 2.
No, promise. I'm just a kid trying to make a living. You know who you should talk to? Moll. She's my boss, I guess. Good at finding stuff. Her office is through the crack in the wall over there, if you can fit.
Okay. So... yeah, I think that quest might have ended for us. Because Mirkon died. Because we can't get in here through the rocky crevice. Let's try something. Never tried this before. I don't think this is gonna matter. If you had a druid in your party, you may be able to interact with that and do it. And get through there. But I'm not gonna be able.
I can't fit through here.
Yeah.
Wonder if there's another way in.
Yes, so we can't do it, I don't think.
Still breathing,
despite everything, light on my feet.
Swing and swivel and wait.
Just make sure. Just taking one more quick look around.
This is no fortress and we're no warriors.
Interested in my rat.
Back. Here to buy some stuff? Dunno. I just use the one I know. I bet you can find another one though. This place has tons of tunnels and stuff. Here's what I got.
Okay. So while we're here, we can sell off the rest of these things. Don't think I'll be able to sell. Yeah, can't sell the bloodstone.
Well, what do you think? Good stuff, right? Well, thanks for the honesty, I guess.
You spot the boy giving a sly wink as he turns away.
If we left, we could at least make them silent.
Okay, well that might be done. I'll do a little bit of reading. Like I say, I've never encountered that because I've never encountered Mirkon dying. That's the first time in all my playthroughs that one of the Harpies has actually gone out and flew and killed him, and that's simply because everybody in my party was lured by the song. So there was no point in going after any of us because we were all hypnotized. It was just the craziest thing I've ever seen happen. So at this point we are going to save, and what we will do next week is we will pick up with entering into the Druid Sanctum here and talking to Kaga and working out some of that quest and picking up some more options that go along with it. Nettie is also located down here. You can see from our mini-map that Kaga, Nettie, and Arabella are all down here, so we'll start off next week going through that, and maybe in the meantime I'll figure out how to get some of our stuff back. So on that note, I'd like to thank everyone for joining me today. Without your support, none of this would be possible. This is Commander Jorval saying, until next time, fare thee well.